to the World Storytelling Cafe. And it is Tuesday, so it is our young international tellers. At the moment is, of course, our young international teller, but undoubtedly she will be joined by others. So, Lisa seems to be popping in and out, but she's not telling she's an audience. But for now, Kenza, do you have a story for us?
Yes, I have two stories about Juha.
Bless you. Please continue.
Okay. So I have two stories. One is about Juha and the neighbors, and the second is about Juha and the greedy man. So I start or I attend Jasname. I start. Okay.
I think you
So,
can start.
Okay. So this first story is about Juha and the neighbors. So on a cool evening, Juha noticed a flickering torch in his neighbor's house and found out that they were using it for warmth. Intrigued, Juha stopped to observe the torch and hoped to join them to warm himself up too. However, when the neighbors spotted him, they began to tease him, accusing him of using their fire to warm himself up. In response, they demanded him that he invited them over for a dinner at his house. Feeling slighted, Juha plotted his revenge and slaughtered a lamb to cook for his neighbors. He instructed them to wait until the meat was ready, promising to call them over for the dinner. So, however, Juha took a long time, causing his neighbors to grow increasingly impatient. So, when they finally entered his home to investigate the lead lie, they discovered a large pot suspended from the ceiling and a small candle on the floor, cooking everything. The neighbors were outraged and exclaimed, "How can the meat possibly cook like this?" Juha retorted, "How could I have warmed myself up with your fire if I was outside your house?" The neighbors were taken aback by Juha's clever response and realized that they had been too quick to judge him. And the second story is about Juha and the greedy man. So it starts when Juha had a very greedy neighbor who would always tell him that he should be like him and save money to become greedy. One day, Juha got tired of him and replied, "Do you want me to become like you? Do you want me to go to people and take out various loans and not repay them? Or stop eating, cooking, drinking, and dressing to become greedy like you?" The neighbor replied, "What's wrong with that? I have money, and you don't have any like me." Juha replied, "What is the value of money if it doesn't serve its owner?" The neighbor replied, "Just look at it shine." One day, the neighbor came to Juha and asked if he could borrow his donkey, and Juha gave it to him. After the day passed, the neighbor returned with the donkey and asked Juha for a dinar. Juha replied, "Why should I give you a dinar when I give you my donkey?" The neighbor replied, "During the trip, he was angry, and I bought him some grass." Juha exclaimed with great anger, "Aren't you ashamed? I have always let you my donkey without asking you pay me back. Keep your dinar and never ask me for my donkey again." The greedy neighbor took the dinar happily and went back to his house, while Juha started thinking of a lesson to teach to the greedy man. The next day, went and booked himself a new hat, then went to a restaurant and paid for the food and 2 seats in advance. He then went to the fruit owner and paid in advance for fruits and vegetables, and finally went to pay in advance for a donkey. The next day, when Juha was returning to his home, he saw his greedy neighbor and started shooting to get his attention. When they met, the neighbor said to Juha, "Wow, what is a beautiful hat! How much did it cost to you?" Juha replied, "It is a lucky hat, and can't be expressed on money." The neighbor replied, "What I'm hearing? What? What do you mean by luck?" Juha replied, "Follow me, and I'll show you." Juha then talked to him and go to the restaurant and said, "I invite you to a lunch, and everything will be paid by the heads." So after they finished eating, Juha touched his hat, and the restaurant owner said, "Your lunch is already paid." This happened at the fruit owner, the merchants, and finally the donkey seller, and they all said everything was already paid for. So Hassan, as he touched his hat, finally the greedy neighbor said to Juha, "How much do you want to sell the hat for?" Juha replied, "I can give you in exchange of your castle." The greedy neighbor replied with great joy, as if using the Juha's hat, he could buy 3 castles like this. Juha got rid of his greedy neighbor, because money don't represent everything in the world, and being greedy isn't the right choice. Thank you.
Well, Kenza, that was amazing. And we won't go around everyone, but I have to say, your English is getting better and better and better. Your pronunciation is getting clearer and clearer and clearer every week you come on. You are amazing. And thank you for all these wonderful Juha stories, none of which we've heard before. I can't wait for the book. Now I see we have been joined by the amazing, the equally amazing, the fantastic Jasname, who are sitting in Punjab with beautiful curtains behind her. And Jasname, do you happen to have a story for us? Or maybe two?
Yes, I do.
That would be fantastic. Could we hear it?
Sure. So, Hello everyone, my name is Jasname and I'm from India, Punjab. The name of my story is The Bird King. One day all the birds of different kinds were together. They decided we need a king who would manage our birds. And so they wanted a contest to take place. The contest said the bird who could fly the highest and the most time was the winner. And so we wanted a winner, so this contest will be held tomorrow. Every bird was ready, and everyone was sure that the mighty eagle would win because the eagle was strong. It had strength, it was mighty, and it could fly high. And it was big too. But then a small bird called Wren said, "Why always big? I guess I can also win and be the king of the birds." And everyone laughed at it and said, "We'll see it tomorrow." Now Wren knew if it could not win physically, it had to win with a trick. And so it prepared a trick the whole night. The next morning, the woodpecker started pecking the wood, and that was the time when the birds' contest started. All the birds flew up in the air, and Eagle took a lead. Eagle was the highest, and the small bird Wren following it. Now all the birds were tired. They all came down, while only Eagle and Wren were left in the air. Eagle said to Wren, "You should quit this challenge because I think you can't do any more. I am the winner, that's so obvious." But Wren said, "Just wait, the time will come." And now it was the point where Wren was tired. It could not work anymore. It could not fly anymore. And so it used its trick. It was so light-weighted that it sat on the eagle's back and flew with it. Now Eagle noticed, Wren is missing. This means I have won this contest. And he shouted from the air, "I am the king, I am the king." And he landed down. While everyone in the air noticed that Wren was still flying. Because when Eagle was about to land, Wren flew from its back and was flying again in the air. And that's when Wren said, "No, wait, I am the king." And Wren gave the eagle a smile. And everyone accepted Wren as the king. And now Eagle said to Wren that you used my strength. And it said, "I did not use your strength, I used my brain." Thank you.
That is one of the most wonderful versions I've heard of that story ever, Jasmine. Wonderful. I love that. I love that detail of the woodpecker starting by tapping on the thing and the finish. I loved it. Well, let's go round. I'm gonna, for a change, let Babasi speak first because he might have to leave us. So so Babasi, what have you got to say to Kenza and Chesname?
Okay, so Kenza, in the chat, a lot of very lovely things were being said about you, and I agree with them. I'm repeating myself from the last time. Every time you tell, you get better and better, and I enjoy your stories. I think, I'll just put it this way, I'm glad it's not a competition because I don't need the competition. So I think you get better and better. So don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Jasname, what can I say? What can I say? Your honorary uncle, once again, is pleased with what you've done. And I love that version of the story. And if you don't mind, I'm going to borrow that version and try to make it my own. But thank you very much. I think that I remember when you first started, and you were very quiet, and it was like, "My name is Jasname." not anymore. You've been, you toured, you were in the UK for your birthday, and you just keep on getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. That's it.
Well, thank you. Well, we'll stay on that side of the Atlantic. Lisa, what have you got to say to our two tellers?
I just am so impressed. I don't even know how to express it. They are wonderful storytellers, and the fact that they are young is almost incidental. They are just amazing. That's all I have to say.
Well, I can second and third that. Mike.
Hi everyone. It was brilliant. Both tellers were really good, and I sit and I think, if my English was as good as those young girls' English when I was their age, I'd speak good English now, wouldn't I? And I just really wanted to say, hooray! Celebrate, celebrate. It's another wonderful evening.
And Manuela, glowing with pride up there.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, I think I can second everything that's been said, and I think it was said in the chat how natural you both are, natural storytellers. It seems to be innate in how you propose your stories. And Jasname, I was the first time I heard that story, and I really love it because I work with a lot of brainless people, so perhaps I'm going to use that story in my company. And Kenza, we've started working together also in view of a bit bigger project, as John reminds us each time, and we've started writing them on a shared document. So I'm getting more and more out of these stories by reading them together with Kenza. And I believe these stories came from your mum this time, Kenza. These were given to Kenza by her mum, and so it's something very precious I feel I'm handling here. So thank you for offering me that opportunity, Kenza, and more soon, John, more soon.
Well, while I've got you all here, at 6 o'clock Moroccan time, and you can Google what that sits into wherever you are, on Saturday the 22nd, that's not this Saturday coming, but the Saturday after, we're doing a 2-hour show as part of a 24-hour show by Ace Innovations, but we're doing 2 hours from the cafe, and which is trying to raise money for the Turkish earthquake, victims of the Turkish earthquake. So Kenza, if you want to come and tell a story, Manuela, Lisa, anyone who wants to tell a story, Babasi, and Jasname, if you want to come, I'll put details up, and I'll make sure your mum, Jasname, is that's the one. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Hold on, we've got someone. Well, I think we have Nigeria joining us. So don't go away, everyone. Well, in the nick of time, we have, I hope, yes, we have. Well, she's wearing a mask, so I can't tell which sister it is. Well, we got both the sisters. So, and of course, I can never remember. I only pretend that my memories. Anyway, so are we? Unmute yourself. Oh, are you in a car? Fantastic. So we've got both sisters crossing Nigeria in some kind of transport. Please unmute yourself. Oh, you're unmuted. Please tell us a story. Whoever is capable of telling us, whoever can tell a story. Are you able to tell? Are you on a bus?
Yes.
A bus?
I mean, no. No.
A car. Okay, let's see if the signal will hold up so you can tell a story. Introduce yourself first.
This is Radia Sadiq. I live in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria in Western Africa. The name of my story is Little Miss Splendid and the Magic Mirror. It's very splendid.
Please tell.
How does she know she's splendid? Because she has a magic mirror that tells her. So every morning she goes to her magic mirror and says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most splendid of all?" Little Miss Splendid. Little Miss Splendid is the most splendid of all. So what? For many, I wonder what it. Soon, Little Miss Splendid found the answer. It was a princess who wanted to go to the castle. Little Miss Splendid was very happy. She said, Little Miss Splendid said, living next door to a princess must even make me more splendid. She put on her most splendid hat and the most splendid boots, ready to visit her next door neighbor. Before she left, she went into her magic. She went to talk to her magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most splendid of all? The princess. The princess next door is the most splendid of all. But I am the most splendid of all, said Little Miss Splendid. Not anymore, said the mirror. Little Miss Splendid was big. So the next day, she studied the princess's fine clothes. She studied the princess's gown. She studied the princess's hat and her robe. Then Little Miss Splendid went. She bought a very splendid coat. She bought a very splendid coach, 4 horses, and a princess's hat and a robe. So she went near the bus stop. She went to the bus stop. She saw Mr. Happy. She asked Mr. Happy didn't notice her. He said, "Did you hear the princess is coming to town? I'm so excited." Little Miss Splendid was dismayed. What could she do? She went to her magic mirror and said, "I do look splendid." But the mirror disagreed. The princess is the most splendid of all. And if I may say, you look a little ridiculous. Little Miss Princess was made for the second time. Then, the next week, she read where she was reading the newspaper. She saw an advertisement and made Little Miss Splendid smiled. She was saying. Then she went to Mr. Bump. She asked. She told him. "Really?" he said, while breaking his window with a ladder, and he rushed off to apply for the job. Then she went to Miss Stratford. She told her to apply for a maid and to be a great job worker. She also went to the classroom to apply for a job. Then she met with the model. She also told him about the job for the butler, and then she few wrong turns, and then before he found his way to the castle. So the next morning, it was obvious that the three people had got the job. Little Mr. Bump had wrecked the coach. Mr. Bump had wrecked he had wrecked the coach. And little Miss Catherine had ironed the princess's robe. The maid, little Miss Catherine had ironed the princess's robe and burnt a large hole in it. Mr. Muddle, he had muddled up the crown and the bread. He put the bread in the sea and the crown in the oven and melted it. The princess did not look at least splendid. She went to Little Miss Splendid went to her magic mirror. Mirror, mirror, tell me who is the most. Little Miss Splendid, the mirror replied. Little Miss Splendid is the most splendid of all. Yeah, what's the most splendid? But the mirror continued. I heard that the queen is coming today. The end.
That was fantastic. That was we were having a few issues, but your expression gets so much more expression every time. I just love that. I love that line where you said, and you look a little ridiculous, if I might say, and that was, you just have so much more expression now, and to actually do that while you're going along in the vehicle is amazing. Baba C, would you like to say anything to Nigeria? Your message to Africa.
Hello, princesses. It's good to see you again. In the chat, we were talking about there were some technical difficulties, but we love your expressions. We love your confidence. And as John said, you are indeed getting better and better, and your confidence shows. And so for that, I applaud you. And you're going to give your big sister some competition. Not that it's a competition, but I think your storytelling is getting better and better. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Manuela, would you like to say anything?
Thank you. That was lovely. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I loved that repetition that you used. It allowed us to although we had connection problems and couldn't hear every word, but we could follow the story thanks to the repetition and as John says, your expression of the story. Do you like this story? Is it your favorite story? I don't know. Connection issues again. She seems to have frozen. But thanks.
Okay, Lisa.
I loved what I could hear. I couldn't always hear the story, but I think I heard that Miss Splendid, was that the character? I just thought that was a great name. And confidence, oh my gosh, so much confidence. I enjoyed it.
So Kenza, have you got anything to say? We go Italy to Nigeria, we've got Italy talking to Nigeria, come in.
I missed the part of the story because the internet connection is not very good, but I listened to a part of the story and I like it a lot. And you're a very good storytelling because your confidence and your personality in this story is very, very good. So thank you for sharing this story.
And Mike, I can't let you go with nothing without saying,
I loved what I could hear. I loved the way of telling, and I've asked in the chat if Radia will tell it again another time so we can actually hear all of it when she's got a better connection. It's a lovely story. My granddaughter is very fond of the Little Miss stories and the Mr. Men stories. I've never heard that one, so it was really lovely.
Little Miss Splendid. I love that.
Mm.
I love the idea of Little Miss Splendid. Has everyone? So, Lisa, you had I asked you? Lisa, would you like to say something? I'm sure I asked you.
I did say something.
I'm sure you did. Yes, it's all right. It's an age thing. So, I
just
can
said I
remember.
love
I
this
can
story.
remember everything fairly well from 1,000 years ago. It's just 2 seconds ago I have difficulty with. So it's been a fantastic day. I mean, we've had Punjab in India, we've had Italy, we've had Nigeria. I mean, that's going some. That's 3 continents.
Mhm.
And while we're being viewed from America, 4 continents. Yeah. So I mean, how good is that? We are indeed the World Storytelling Cafe, and our young tellers are our pride and joy. So, what have we got coming up? This Friday, we've got Despina from Greece, which will be a joy. Sunday, we have our Worldwide Story Round. And next Tuesday, we have our young international tellers. Meanwhile,
Woohoo!
thank you very much for joining us. Waleed, thank you for flying the magic carpet one more time. And have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye-bye.
You
One
too.
more
Thank
round
you,
of applause.
John.
Right.
Take care, everybody. To be continued.
To be continued.
Cheerio, folks. Bye then.
See out.